I work in a very traditional way. It's all handwork, from the models to the actual size sculpture. There's nothing mechanical in this process. It's challenging because you're prone to more technical mistakes this way, but it's been done for thousands of years. In a way, it's even a privilege today to make it this way. The two sides of the memorial, General Eisenhower side and President Eisenhower, two different compositions that would be in harmony. The topic of the composition is General Eisenhower with the 101st Airborne. Basically, it's the moment before the storm. Probably was very, very difficult and emotional moment for General Eisenhower. He just made one of the hardest, if not the hardest, decision in his life. What captured me in reading about this, that he had this certain warmth and humanity in him, and this was the thing that is indispensable, because he was not just a leader, he had this human characteristic in him. And in reality, I imagine that's exactly what would be the best for the soldiers. Many of them were to die in a very short period of time. So to capture this energy, that was what was in my mind. To translate tension that's supposed to hold within itself more than a moment, more part of the human side, because there is no motion picture, things don't develop. In a sense of telling the story, it's basically an illusion of life. It's static, it doesn't move. You look for symbolism. Some parts are designed to be exaggerated, larger hands and maybe some adjustment in proportions that give a sense of weight. The moment is so tense. I didn't want anything to be light here. I went after more angularity because there is no obvious motion, but the goal was to find the motion within the sculpture. That's why the wrinkles on the clothes, they never fall like this in reality. So in my view, that helps the tension, to keep the tension and energy. So angularity, roughness, exaggerations here and there to produce the needed result. And in this case, to me, it was tension of the moment, of this moment. Petrosan, a very special town for me. In my view, it has the greatest tradition of art probably in the world that exists today, where the knowledge about all aspects about sculpture remain. There are molds, casting in bronze. All this requires a lot of experience, precision, knowledge. Fortunate that I have a local artisans, the foundry, and they learn their craft by family tradition, apprenticeship. This almost doesn't exist anymore, only here. The president's side is connected to a very successful period of presidency where so many just as important things as Normandy landing were also accomplished. What the goal was in the figure of President Eisenhower and his surrounding is to portray his general human qualities different way than it is portrayed in a general. I really do strongly believe he was a great president, but he was also a good man, which is very important. These two compositions is a continuation. It's a story of his life, expressed in a very unique language. I think it's a great example. It's a great storyline from his beginnings to what he accomplished. It's an enormous accomplishment. And I think if it's expressed well in terms of art, and the kids are interested to look and even ask a few questions, if it impresses in a certain way young people, it will remain with them. It's also an inspirational thing. It's a legacy of the events of the great man, the people that were next to him, and all the drama is there. If people are interested and they feel something, it will work. When sculptures are finished in clay, we will make mold. The mold is basically an imprint of the sculpture. The goal of casting sculpture in bronze, it should be accurate, exact representation of what one made in clay. Bronze makes it last. It's a permanent material, quite indestructible. You can see it ages quite beautifully. The tones are very nice in between brown and blue and green. The roughness is intentional. It is finished this way. The surface of the bronze is more vibrant in my view when it's not very smooth. I wanted the overall form to have contrast, not to be flat. The entire bas-relief represents the coast of Normandy, with the beginning of the invasion. The relief is 36 feet long by 12 feet tall. Bronze and stone, these two materials, they traditionally work together very well. Lighter color stone creates a good background. It's a good contrast because bronze is of a darker tone, so they should work together pretty much in harmony. The art was to represent the depth of the sea. These waves, they will produce the sense of motion. The waves will start at a certain scale, and they should create an illusion, with light and shadow of motion of the water. And they gradually disappear into the horizon and towards the cliffs of Normandy that border it. With the reliefs, the CNC machine removes the bulk of stone, and then it goes into hand carving. In Pietrasanta, I find that they are really experts in stone carving. They have this special type of knowledge of various types of stones, especially marble, because mountains around here are all marble. Michelangelo lived in this town. David is made of this marble. Bernini carved this marble. The marble is one of the best in the world, if not the. It translates into expertise of people that for generations work with this material. It's a great honor to be in the United States for the last 27 years and make sculptures representing founding fathers, and now working on one of the absolutely grand characters. He was a great president, great general, and great human being. So working with clay and then stone and translating it in bronze, if I can do something that represents him, it's an honor. Because the way we are right now, in big measure, dependent on what he did.